Hi everyone. I recently just bought myself a used 2013 Kia Soul, and it's always nice to have a jump box around. Luckily, someone actually went on Amazon and gave me the option to do a review on a small jump box. This is a Topdon Auto Battery Jump Starter, 18,000 milliamp hour, portable power bank car battery booster, 600 amp peak. Yeah, that's what the listing actually says, so that's what I was going from. We'll put it on the desk and see what this nice little box gives you. In the box comes this nice little semi-hard box. It is flexible, but keeps the shape very nicely. Let's unzipper it. And inside, you have two compartments. One, you got all your accessory pieces. Then flip on over, and you got the box itself, which is really shoved in here nicely with a foam surround so it doesn't bounce around. So, here's the box itself, which we'll get to in a second. Flip that over, and we've got, of course, jump leads with a very interesting connector. So we have the DC adapter for recharging. We have a wire and a bunch of connectors for charging up laptops from the box. We have a USB to, let's see here, micro USB, lightning, old iPod, and mini USB charging, all in one cord. I doubt you can probably use all at the same time, but it gives you the option, and you don't have to sit there and play with everything. And a 4 or 5 page little manual. Oh, and I completely forgot, I put this off to the side because I've already opened this before. Here's the AC adapter that also comes with it. So you can either recharge your unit from AC or DC from a car. So let's take a look at the main unit itself right now. Probably weighs about a good 2-3 pounds or so. It's got some weight to it. Does have an LED, which I'll figure out how to turn on here in a minute. It has a bunch of red lights, which presumably flash when you turn them on. I'll figure out how to turn them on in a minute too, for when you're on the side of the road. You have 3 little lights here for 19 volt, 16 volt, and 12 volt for this output, which is usually used for a laptop if you need to charge a laptop. This is the main power in the battery. Let's see here. I don't think it's going to do anything because the unit's off right now. You have your output, USB 2.1 amps, and your input, which is your recharging, which is 15 volts, 1 amp. Your main on-off button, and underneath this little rubber thing is that weird-looking connector for hooking up the jumper leads. So let's turn the unit on. Now I've previously charged this, so yeah, it's fully charged right now. I think if you hold down the little, hold it down for a few seconds and you get the really bright white light. That's definitely brighter than the one on your camera, so they're definitely brighter than the one that's on your cell phone. Now let's see what happens if you hold it again. Oh, you get a blinking mode. I assume that's SOS as usual. Okay, hold it down again. You just get a quick blink. Hold down again, and it goes off. There we go. Okay, 2 clicks get the top going on. And that turns it off. Okay. 2 clicks. Okay, so you get a nice little blinking caution light if you're out at night. So, let's try the USB next. So, I'll take this cable here. Actually, let's use, hey, get back here. Let's use my little inline thing to see what power comes up with. There we go. Now everything's on. I got power, and this is actually putting out a pretty good amount of power right now on its own. It's actually putting out 5.34 volts without anything connected to it. So let's connect the cable. And let's see if I blow up myself, or my e-cigarette for that fact. So let's see here. Micro USB. There we go. It's really finicky. And power turned off because it didn't pull any power. So let's turn it back on again. There we go. Turn it back on. There we go. Now it's charging. And this is an S5, so it takes a little over an amp to charge, and right now it's actually pulling 1.17 amps. Oh wait, sorry, no, it just jumped up. This one pulls even more. I'm up to 1.6 amps, 8 watts. Yeah, my battery must be pretty low on this. Oh, it's 71%. And the voltage tag, we're still at 5.06, so that's really good. That's better than most of the ones you see plugging in the wall. Usually they have too much of a voltage tag, so that's good. I like that. It's definitely going to charge my phone fast. Okay, so now we're going to check the voltage on the laptop supply first with the multimeter to make sure it's okay and which polarity it is before I bring a $700 laptop and blow it up. So let's turn the unit on. And right now we're at 12 volt. Click it once. There we go. Okay. It must detect that that's in there. Off, on. Okay, that's interesting, to say the least. So, where the heck did I throw that? Oh, it's right here. Okay, so there's a certain sequence that you got to do to get the voltage changed on here first before you plug in your laptop. If you plug this cable in first, somehow it senses it's in there. Maybe there's a switch at the bottom of it. I don't know. But if you do that and you try to get power to this, you won't be able to change it. So first you turn the unit on. There we go. Now we got 12 volts. Now you can just click it. 16 volts, 19 volts. And you just keep on going and off. And then click again, 12 volts. So let's check 12 volts. So it should be negative outside, positive internal, and 12.42 volts. Okay. Now to change it, I think we're going to have to unplug again. There we go. Let's see what 16 volts looks like. How much regulation do we have here? Positive, negative. 16.09 volts. Okay, not bad. Let's check 19. Plug it in. $19.46. Okay, let me go get my laptop and we'll give this a shot and see if I get a bunch of smoke out or not. Okay, let's put the laptop to the side. Okay, first things first, you gotta take your original adapter, take a peek at it and see what it looks like, see if we can match it on up. And no. Let me guess, it's probably the one that's already stuck on there. That's a close fit. Actually, it might be this one. Let me see here. Actually, might be able to use one that without even any adapter, at least for my ASUS laptop. I don't know. Let me see this plug. It's right here. Actually, that feels like it works. Now the thing is, we got to make sure and check the polarity. Now remember, the outside is negative on this. So what you do is get the power supply, and you're going to have to look in here. There's a little section, usually behind 50, 60 hertz, and it shows a negative and a positive side. And it's telling me on this power supply that negative is the outside sheath and positive is in the center. So therefore, yeah, it's not going to focus for me right now, but check your brick that this is the correct polarity, so I can use this. So let's see what happens. The only thing is I charge on the opposite side of this laptop. Open it up, and yeah, I'm at 90% right now. I'm only gonna keep this plugged in for a minute. So let's see what happens here. And yep, okay. I don't know if I can move this enough so you can see, but I do have a little charging icon now. Right here. Yep, see how it's charging? You might have to increase your screen. And if I unplug, yep, not charging. And charging. Yep, okay, so good. That works. It's got a few little quirks, but it works. Cool. And also on the back of it, they have their Topdon little insignia there. Model T01. Capacity 18,000 milliamp hours or 18 amp hours. At what voltage? I don't know. Chances are it's probably 12 volts. 66.6 watt hours. Output voltage for the laptop part of it, You got 12 volts, 16 volt, or 19 volt. It says you have a start current of 300 amps and a peak current of 600 amps. USB output 5 volts, 2.1 amps, and input constant current, constant voltage 15 volt, 1 amp. And of course, made in China. Now the one thing you got to be careful with, now we're going to take a look at the actual jump start part. Yeah, go figure. Let's do the best last. When you open these up, they are recessed, but guess what? They're always powered. And considering this says it's fully charged, I'm getting 12.04, 12.03 volts out of it. So if I plug this in, and it is keyed, one is flat, one is round, so you can only stick it in one way. Goes in this way. That is a pretty meaty connection there. I guess it better be if it's going to take a couple hundred amps. So I should be able to clamp on there first, and clamp on here. 12.04. Yeah, it's directly connected to the battery's internal. This switch doesn't do anything for the actual jump start. The switch is for everything else. So, presumably this is a fuse. Only thing is, how the heck do you open it when you blow it? Oh, okay. Just run your finger in there. What the heck? Okay, it's not exactly a fuse. It looks like a couple MOSFETs. There's some boards on over it. I'm not sure if this is... They're all the same. That's some really shitty soldering job. They could have cleaned that up a lot better. Especially this bottom half. Yeah. Let me see if I can bring this back into focus here and a lot closer. Let me see if I can focus. Nope, wrong way. Let's focus. There we go. Now you can see. Yeah, it's 4 MOSFETs. This soldering looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. That looks like crap. And that's got some residue on it too. And on the back of it, you just got these cross beams on it to handle the amperage. I'm going to have to look up these MOSFETs and see what they are and see what they're actually supposed to do. I'm not sure if this is an overcurrent protection or what, but give me a minute. Let me look them up and see what I can find. Okay, let's see here. Found out what they are. It is a 42CTQ030S. It's the middle version, and these actually, they're not MOSFETs. They are giant Schottky rectifiers, and rated at about, let's see here, 40 amps or 1100 amps. I'm not exactly sure how to read that information. A rectangular waveform. Basically, it is your reverse polarity protection, which I don't care to test in this video, but that is their version of it. Oh, and another note on this, if they're rated for 40 amps, if they're a Schottky rectifier, so basically you'd have positive coming on out, but if you reverse the leads and you have negative coming in here, it'll stop. But you're allowing maybe 40 amps on each one to go through here. That's what it's rated for. So that's 40, 80, 120, 160 amps. The thing is, this thing's rated for 300 amps, I think, for like 6 seconds, or instantaneous 600 amps. I don't know if these things overheat or you're just not meant to actually run that much current through it. It can handle the few seconds. We're going to find out when I do a load test on these. Since I can't do the load test yet until tomorrow when I'm making this video, I gotta go to Harbor Freight and pick up a $21. Let's go Mad Electron on it and open up the unit in the meantime and see what we got before we load test it. So let's open this unit up. Looks like a regular Phillips head screwdriver, and remove these 4 little rubber feet on the bottom, and hopefully that should open it because there are 4 little screws underneath here. Okay, that's just a plastic clip. They do need to come off. So you gotta be careful. Yeah, they're just plastic. I don't think that was holding the whole thing now. They definitely still have to come off. Okay, why won't you open? There we go. Haha. Some strong clips in there. Okay, let's keep working around without shorting out anything. Woo! There we go. I think we're open. I heard a switch fall or something. Okay. That's the rubber piece. Ah, okay. It was the little light tunnels. There we go. Let's get those off to the side. That's for the light indicators. We've got 2 wires going up to the little red lights. And big beefy battery pack. There's the LED controller. Here's the controller for, and yeah, definitely a boost buck converter for the USB and for your laptop power. The switch is right there. Nothing too major. Let me see if I can get this battery pack out. We can actually see what we got going on here. Here it comes. Wow. Strong foam. There we go. Got the battery pack. And it looks like 3 very long lithium ion batteries in series. Let's see if I can take this extra tape off here, because it looks like it's got its own battery management board on here. Or at least that's what I hope it is. Looks like one of those battery packs you get for bigger RC cars. Okay. That is probably your charging circuit right there. That's got the little lines here. Yeah, you're only charging at 1 amp, so that's got to be your charger. And what is that chip? Let me see here. Whoa, too bright. Cell-wise, CW1043. Yeah, that's probably just a charging chip. Which is kind of interesting. It's got positive going in. Okay, good. 1, 2, 3 leads. Okay, yeah, so it's checking each battery. Okay, so that's the charger. Let's see if I can get down into the rest of it and see. There's a secondary circuit board underneath of it, and it looks like I don't see any disconnect chips or anything like that. I think it's just directly connected. So yeah, you might want to be careful if you overcurrent these batteries too much. Well, let me see if I can cut open the sides of this and we can see what the actual lithium ion cells are. Yeah. Okay, now let's see if we can get a peek at the actual cells we have here. There's definitely 3 cells in series, I presume. LPB 9050135ST 2015-12-19, that's the assembly date, so these battery packs are only 8 months old. I'm not getting a rating on it technically. At least not that I see. Let me see if I can see something on the other side of this last battery. Nope, nothing printed on that. So you're going to be pulling upwards of 600 amps through 3 of these batteries for 5 to 6 seconds. I don't know if that's safe or not. We're going to find out. Here's another little bit of information here. Let me see if I can bring this in closer. Focus on the battery charging circuit. Focus. There we go. And it's got on the back of it, it's silk screened with bolt power. BAT351P version 10, I think. And then if you look at the front again, a much closer form. Flip it on over. And focus good. There you go. There's your battery charger built right onto the actual battery pack itself. Okay, so now what I got set up, unfortunately I've been trying for 3 weeks to make this video, and the reason why it's taken so long is I can't find another car that actually has a dead battery so I can truly test this. So what I'm going to do is use a 100 amp battery tester from Harbor Freight, connect it in, and we'll see how well it does on that. Because if it can't supply at least 100 amps for 5 seconds, it's never going to start your car. So this will at least give you an indication if these batteries can actually handle it, if it can't handle the 100 amp load, if it blows up on my desk and burns up the whole place, and at the same time, the Schottky diodes, I have a thermocouple tied up here, 82 degrees Fahrenheit. We want to see how hot. See if these Schottky diodes can even handle 100 amps flowing through them, let alone 3 to upwards of 600 amps for a few seconds. So we're going to do a 5-second test. Then I'm going to review the video because I'm probably not going to be able to read the screen perfectly. Right now, the battery pack is reading about 12.4 volts. So it's in a good charge state. And we want to see, hopefully, it doesn't go down into the yellow weak area. Hopefully it stays at least 11 volts. So we're going to try this for 5 seconds right now and see what happens. Ready? 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Not too bad. They definitely got... Yeah. My thermocouple didn't stay on there perfectly. I can feel the board. It's definitely hot to the touch, which is probably about 120 or 130 degrees. So, yeah, that's only a 100 amp load. This thing's going to get really hot on 300 to 600 amps. So you probably have one good pull on it, and then this thing's going to fry. So, if your car doesn't start the first time, I wouldn't suggest trying a second time really quick. So, as for the load, it's come back up to 12.3, and from what I saw, it only went down to maybe 10.5 volts. So that's not bad. Let's run it through one more quick load. See what happens again. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Down to maybe 10.2 volts. And I bet you this board, yeah, it's probably about 140, 150 degrees. Actually, hold on. I got one of those infrared sensors. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. Max reading, 140.1 degrees. And that's all on the second run at 100 amps, so not 300. So, yeah, I would definitely say that doing this on a car 2 times real quick, you might overheat those Schottky diodes. Okay, now when you go to recharge this unit, got their AC charged version. I'm going to take the unit, close this all the way, plug in your input, 15 volt 1 amp, and automatically with the switch off, it will get power and it will let you know. So the battery's 75% charged. It's blinking this last light. I've noticed before when I charge it, when I tested it earlier, it will stop blinking, and that tells you that the unit is fully charged. So now it's time for some final thoughts on the unit. Overall, it's not bad. I'm kind of glad they sent it to me because I will use it in my Kia Soul. As for the positives on it, it's very compact, even with its nice little case. You can charge your laptop. It's probably not going to charge your laptop all the way, but it will probably give you, on average, with an i7 in it, an extra half-hour runtime, which is pretty good. As for your USB, you definitely get 2.1 amps, and it's a really good spec. It's better than most little wall warts you get, which barely have 5 volts, and the voltage usually sags down. This one started, if I remember correctly, at like 5.3 volts, and under load went down to 5 volts. So I was charging my phone really good. That's better than average. As for charging, it's a slow charge. It's only 1 amp at 15 volts maximum. And I guess that's so you don't overheat the battery pack, because that battery pack is encased in here. There's no way for that heat to really get out really quick, and you don't want that pack all of a sudden ballooning and busting the whole thing open and turning into a big fireball. Now, the questionable things are, one thing, where the heck did I put the cables? There they are. This little thing. That is your reverse polarity protection. I'm too chicken shit. I'm not going to test it. I'm not going to reverse it because I really don't feel like blowing up batteries. It's there. It probably works. Is it the best implementation? Probably not. As for forward current going through it when you're jumping a battery, I probably wouldn't leave this on a battery and try crank it for more than 30 seconds. Otherwise, that unit's going to overheat. Most electronic circuits and Schottky diodes usually don't like going over 200 degrees Fahrenheit. After that, the silicon usually starts breaking down and all weird things will happen. the magic smoke will come out and it won't work right. So whether at that point, besides the fact that it'll probably melt the plastic case, will you have a constant amount of power running through both ways and it won't work at all? Or will you have an open circuit and will it break? I'm not going to find out. So this is good for a single try start. Usually, say you go out to your car in the morning and it was a little cold and all of a sudden your car is clicking. You click, 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 click. Perfect example for using this unit. That means your battery is weak. It's not enough for the starter to engage, but it's not completely dead. You better get a new battery after you jump start it. It's not going to work right, but this jump start should start that car. Now, if you were a moron, like I do sometimes, and left the dome light on all night and the dome light doesn't even light up anymore, that means your battery is dead. Really dead. This is not going to do it. The only thing you're going to do is overheat this unit probably and blow it up in the process, and still have to get a battery and probably fix any fire damage that you get from it. So you have to use a little bit of common sense with this unit. It didn't say in the little paperwork that it came with, but on the website it says it can jump up to a 5-liter engine. That's a V8. Think either Mustang or Dodge Ram. Actually, Dodge Ram is like 5.7 or something like that. That might be too big. Either which way, they're probably saying for a V8 usually needs 750 cold cranking amps. This is only rated for 600. Honestly, I wouldn't try it on anything more than 3 liters. This would be perfect for a 4-cylinder, maybe a small 6-cylinder, like a Hyundai 2.8 liter or so. They don't need that much more amperage. Much more than that, I wouldn't go it. So, pickup trucks, bigger SUVs, not the 4-cylinder SUVs, the Tahoe and stuff like that. No, this thing is not made for that. There's not enough capacity for it to actually jumpstart a battery. And maybe a small Volkswagen diesel it'll jump, but you guys are your power strokes and stuff. No, get a real jump box, because you guys know some of you have 2 batteries in there. That's not going to start your truck. Sorry, not going to happen. So that's my review. I'm happy with it. Works great for a 4-cylinder. It's great for a single try to get you started. I would suggest with this, if you get this for your car, also have a pair of jumper cables. This will get you out of a stick immediately if it works. It should work in most instances, but if it doesn't, you still have a fallback. You can get someone else with a car and harass them. Hey, let me get some battery power. So if you have any questions or comments on this, go ahead and leave them down below. And of course, I will have extra information down in the description.